Today, we are breaking down 5 new ways to gain Instagram followers this week. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to our channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm. You all really enjoyed our last video on how to add new followers to your Instagram account in that week that we were talking about it.
Yes.
So we decided to keep it running and maybe give you fresh new ideas as it comes. Something that you can start at the top of the week and implement and try that could be different than what you've been previously doing before, and then can be folded into your Instagram strategy if you see that it works for you. So, without further ado, let's get started.
The first way to gain new followers on Instagram this week is to have a master list of content ideas. So when it actually comes to creating your content, sometimes it's difficult. It's hard to come up with the ideas. You kind of feel blocked or not creative. So as you go along, we highly recommend you keep a note, a spreadsheet, a document of instantly executable creative content ideas that you can run through when you're creating your content calendar. So even if maybe you mess up, you're not batching, which occasionally we are guilty of, you can have this list handy and you can take a look down the list and go, oh, this is good, I can do this right now. This is something that we find is super helpful. So any sort of idea dump where you can just have that on hand for whenever the need arises for some sort of creative content and you just don't have the bandwidth or the mind frame to create something awesome on the spot. So master list of content ideas.
Another way that you can gain new followers on Instagram this week is to cross-promote via your other accounts. So leverage these accounts that you've built in other areas or other platforms that you have with a following in order to drive traffic and attention to the account you want to grow. In this case, Instagram. So if you have a following on Pinterest that's killing it, if you have a following on Twitter, Facebook, any of these other platforms, use those followers that you have and direct them to Instagram. Let them know that there's interesting content available there for them as well. Mailing lists are also a fantastic way of doing this. You should always have your social links in your mailing list. And if you ever have specific content, that's always great to shout out in a mailing list. So for example, when we're talking about social platforms, I would actually pin something from Instagram to Pinterest to drive traffic. And then if I'm talking about a mailing list, then in my mailing list, I would say this is a post that did really well last week. Check it out. Or everybody's raving about this post. Check it out and drive your mailing list to Instagram. Always leverage the other platforms you have. Everything works as an ecosystem, and I'm sure if you're doing it right, there are different content on different platforms. So people might want to take in different types of content that you're sharing. Those same people who are following that type of content might be interested in what you're sharing on Instagram as well. So leverage those other platforms by cross-promoting.
Another way to get new followers on Instagram this week is to put more faces in your feed. So we've said this before on the channel, but essentially humans react much stronger emotionally when they see other humans as opposed to just a product or a thing. So we would highly recommend you add more faces into your feed, more people, and specifically diverse people. We want to see the community around your business reflected in the feed of your business, because there's nothing weirder than, say, a Toronto-based business and having only people that look like the owners or the employees there. It's not accurate and it kind of feels a bit exclusionary to the community. So one way you can do that, instead of just posting the product, post somebody using the product. Maybe a lifestyle shot. We talked about that a bunch as well, where you'd have a bunch of people, how that product actually fits in a real life situation. Anything that can bring more people and more faces into the feed that people can look at and see themselves in these people in the feed, and then they can see themselves using and integrating your product into their life. And then on top of that, the reason it will help you get new followers is that when you're doing your engagement routine or any other practices bringing traffic to your feed, people are going to be much more likely to both engage and then convert into followers because of those faces in the feed.
We grew a lot when we decided to put ourselves out there more in our feed.
Yes.
100%. Back in the day, if you scrolled back and looked at an old High Season, you would never see Tiffany Craig on there. And then we kept noticing the one in every 45 posts that we had that had us in it was always the highest performing. And then we're like, fine, we should probably put ourselves more in the feed. And that just comes because you don't want to be like, oh, look at me, everybody.
Because it was never about us.
Yeah, because it wasn't about us. It was about the clients and the work that you're doing. But in the end, people always connect to people. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Another way to gain Instagram followers on Instagram this week is to showcase your expertise. Let everybody know that you are an expert in a certain industry or category. And ways that you can do this is if you see a specific conversation that everybody is talking about, if something is trending, jump in with your opinion if it makes sense. So we've had a lot going on this year as a whole, so you've noticed that there are topics that come up that become viral. Those opportunities are a great way for you to jump in, showcase your expertise, tag whatever hashtags you need to or whatever is going to let people see that content. Give your piece on it because that could get shared, and the more people that get shared with, the more people you're bringing back to you. In addition, this also works if it's just you speaking on other industry leaders' posts. So this doesn't have to be like hey, I'm trying to steal your followers. It's just, hey, I'm coming in, I'm jumping into this conversation that you're having. People will see me in the comment section. And if you are saying something that's meaningful and that resonates, people are going to click onto your account. They'll see in your feed that what you're saying makes sense for them too. And maybe they'll just hit follow. So just jump into these conversations that make the most sense for you so that you can showcase your expertise and attract new people to your account.
Another way you can get new followers to your Instagram this week is to always use 30 hashtags. So we have said this countless times in our videos, and we're saying it again today because I've noticed that over the last, say, couple of months, we get that comment or that question on both our Instagram and YouTube comments damn near daily. So I think there's still a bit of a disconnect that people don't understand that you do need to use all 30 hashtags. A lot of people ask, how many should I use or where do I find them? Well, we have that answer. If you check this video right here, we have our ultimate hashtag strategy video. The key thing here is to use all the available hashtags. Instagram wouldn't give you 30 if they didn't want you to use all 30.
Exactly.
So the idea is to get new followers. If you're using all different hashtags that cover everything that the topic that you're posting about, there's more chance that more people will be exposed to your content through that hashtag. And then if you've done all the other things that we've talked about in our videos and optimized your profile and your bio and the feed is consistent, then there's a high chance you'll convert new followers from those hashtags directly.
All right, guys, that is it. That is 5 new ways to gain Instagram followers this week, giving you 5 fresh content ideas or approaches that you can take to see whether that works in your Instagram strategy. Now, remember, the most important thing is once you put it out there, you have to actually analyze and make sure that this makes sense for you. So check your analytics. Always check your analytics. If you see something is working well, double down on that strategy and continue to implement it going forward. Thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere on social media at High Season Co. and check out our website for resources at highseasonco.com. We will see you in the next video, guys.
Peace.